It really started when I first started attending OSU. I was planning on commuting from like Salem over here to Corvallis. That didn't essentially work out well, so I was like in the position of like couch surfing really, with like gracious people who would let me stay, and that's where I got into connections with like the resources at OSU, and they pointed me to over here, which they said was like a good place to start, because I was looking for like housing, like that housing program. That was when I started doing the outreach. Yeah, and it was just like showing that I was like reliable, you know, or like accountable, and just putting in the work to, you know, be in their program. When you get into next steps, there's they have like certain, like they assign you persons to like help you. Like they assigned me with a case manager and a skills coach to help me with building up skills. And they also have their therapists, you know, for mental health, which I really took advantage of, all three of them. Yeah, it was a good experience to like learn and how to be more independent. I mean, I moved in the day like I saw the room, so yeah, that transition was very nice, because like Shima was willing to help me, like, you know, move all my stuff, and you know, pretty nice. I got my own room, which I don't really have much experience before, so that was pretty cool. At first I was wary, because you know, I didn't know them, but as I got to know them through like case managing, you know, they're essentially kind of like people there to support you, which is very reassuring. Coming to Jackson Street really has just helps me set up skills that I can use outside the program, and just like, and to seek support even after I'm out of the program, which is like the aftercare program. The staff and have seen like my exponential growth compared to when I first started. It's really helped me with like these life transitions that I've been experiencing, and it does make it easier, you know, to tackle them. I feel like that's what everybody wants, like just to not worry about, you know, what's going on in the world, and to just live comfortably and freely and experience joy and passion.
Life before Jackson Street is not much of a happy story. There's a lot of turmoil, a lot of movements. I mean, to keep it somewhat surface level, you know, there was a lot of family issues, dynamic issues, alcohol abuse, and a lot of movement. So right before my time here at Jackson Street and a few years prior, I was homeless, moving around, hopping couches, you know, staying where I could. I showed up here without any knowledge of any of the services or people nearby, but just looking online for homeless shelters, I saw Jackson Street pop up, and I reached out to a bunch of different organizations, and they were the first to get back to me. In order to get me on the wait list, they put me into the outreach program, and I originally started meeting with an outreach coordinator. And upon hearing the details of, you know, my situation, they were able to more expressly get me into housing. I started talking to an outreach counselor, you know, meeting once or twice a week, talking about the things that were going on. And then once I got into the housing, you know, then I started to pick up more of the, well, I want to say responsibilities, but they're more like privileges, you know, things you get to do, like the class, the counseling, the housing navigation. At first, it almost seemed too good to be true for quite some time, you know, almost like it took me a while to feel like the place was mine. But, you know, once I settled in, I could still say that that was one of the nicest places I've ever lived. You know, I had my own space. I had decisions over where everything went. I got to decorate. I got to have my own restroom. I got to cook. I got to clean messes that I made and not have to clean messes that other people made. So meeting with a case manager, it often goes kind of like meeting with a friend, but you have goals to get through, you know? So about half the meeting is a lot like those outreach meetings where you're just talking about the week and how things are going, because they want to know how you're doing. They're invested in, you know, your life and what's going on. And then you usually use that as a segue into talking points. Like the main goal of it is to set goals that help you move towards sustainability. So each week you try to set like 3 goals. We eventually worked out a system where like one was immediate, one was long-term, and one was something you were probably going to do but need some help to do. And so like every week we would meet, and I got in the habit of setting doctor's appointments, setting dentist appointments, getting my license, my social security card. Essentially they were just trying to make it, just making sure you're thinking about bettering your future and moving towards self-sustainability, of course, because like it's a program, it's a transitional program. So they're trying to make sure you're not just showing up and sitting still. There was never any pressure for me to leave, but I felt like it was time. So aftercare is a choice, and I love it. You get to choose how you meet, when you meet, how often you meet, and what you do in the program. It's basically just the people you talk to in the program, keeping in touch. And I've chosen to meet with Karina, I think monthly over text message, and she's just keeping in track and checking in on me. And because I'm doing that, I still have access to all of the Jackson Street programs that I had before. Like if I still wanted to go to PS5 for one, if I still wanted to do skills coaching, which is a guy whose job is literally just to teach you what you want to learn. So yeah, I get access to all the Jackson Street services. I get to choose how often they pester me, and I get to choose what I want to do. I think this program is incredibly important. I mean, the second I heard about it, I was appalled that more places like this didn't exist. It's hard for me to state the importance because I can confidently say I wouldn't be here without this program. I mean, it's a program that takes people who aren't responsible for the state of the world or the way their life has ended up and help them get it back on track. I did not deserve to be homeless at like 15. And so I think it's incredibly important that we use people's generosity when we can to help people who need it. And I feel like homeless youths need it the most. Thinking about the future now, I would say I'm more excited for it. I don't know that I'm more optimistic. From a young age, my mom always told me, like, you're smart, you're gonna do big things, even if she wasn't willing to help me get there. She told me that I was gonna do big things and I had to push myself to do it. So I always kind of felt like I was either going to end up successful or nowhere. But nowadays, like, I feel, because I'm not certain where I'm going career-wise, I feel a lot more confident in being able to figure that out as I go. Like, I'm not dreading the fact that I don't know, I suppose. So I am excited. I don't know where I'm gonna end up, but I'm not afraid of it.